Alright, let's dive into a story that's equal parts heartbreaking and eye-opening. Imagine this: a family in their 70s, caring for their adult son with autism, severe mental illnesses, and physical health issues. Sounds intense, right? But here's the kicker: they're essentially trapped in a system that feels like it's designed to fail them. This isn't just a story about one family, it's a spotlight on a much bigger issue in mental health care. So, let's break it down. First off, what makes this really interesting is how this family's situation highlights the gaps in the mental health system. Michael, their son, experiences psychosis, OCD, delusions, and even refuses food. He's started fires in their home and believes people are aliens. It's a nightmare scenario, and yet the system seems to have no real solution for them. Personally, I think this raises a deeper question: why is it so hard to get help until someone is in immediate danger? It's like waiting for a house to burn down before calling the fire department. What many people don't realize is that this isn't an isolated case. Mental health charity SANE says they hear stories like this all the time. It's a systemic issue, not just a personal tragedy. Now, let's talk about the legal threshold for intervention. The family argues it's way too high. And honestly, I get it. The system seems to prioritize acute crises over early intervention. But here's the thing: by the time someone is in acute crisis, the damage is often already done. If you take a step back and think about it, this approach feels backward. We're essentially saying, we'll help you when it's too late. That's not care, that's reaction. And it's not just me saying this. Their MP, Tessa Munt, points out the same thing. There's support for mild cases and acute crises, but the middle ground? It's a wasteland. A detail I find fascinating is how this gap disproportionately affects families like Michael's, who are left to carry the burden alone. What this really suggests is that the mental health system isn't just underfunded, it's fundamentally misaligned with the needs of the people it's supposed to serve. The Department of Health and Social Care talks about investing in mental health and developing strategies. But here's the reality: families are still falling through the cracks. In my opinion, it's not enough to throw money at the problem without rethinking the entire approach. Early intervention should be the norm, not the exception. What makes this even more frustrating is that we've known about these issues for years. Marjorie Wallace from SANE points out that the loss of mental health beds and services over the years has only made things worse. It's like we're trying to fix a broken leg with a Band-Aid. Now, let's talk about the broader implications. Prime Minister Andy Burnham's plans to reform social care are a step in the right direction, but mental health support needs to be front and center in that conversation. From my perspective, treating mental health with the same urgency as physical health isn't just a nice idea, it's a necessity. One thing that immediately stands out is how this family's story is a microcosm of a much larger societal failure. We're failing people like Michael, and by extension, we're failing their families. This raises a deeper question: what does it say about us as a society when we leave people in such desperate situations? As I wrap this up, I'm left with a thought-provoking question for all of us: how many more families have to live in hell before we finally fix the system? It's easy to point fingers at governments or institutions, but the truth is, this is on all of us. We need to demand better, advocate louder, and rethink how we approach mental health care. Personally, I think this story isn't just a call to action, it's a wake-up call. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.